You need to have all of your senses in place and activated in order for you to understand the language of the altar. Altars do speak. Altars do speak. Child of God, altars do speak. I'm saying this because I've seen many people play with this kind of a program. And I've seen this kind of a program play with people. So I'll give you scriptures concerning that so that you understand who to accommodate and strangers that you should never leave wandering outside of your habitations. I'll actually give you scriptures so that you understand. There are people that when you see them wandering, the wandering is deceptive. They are stranded, but they are not yet that stranded.
Shalom. Hello there. Welcome to the Watcher's Plug. Thanks for joining us today. We feel glad to have you here. In this video, you will see the prophet of God, Prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa. He shares deep lessons on altars. Most preachers skip these details. They touch the surface. But he digs right in. He starts with the main purposes of an altar. Think of it as a sacred spot in the Bible. People built them to honor God. They used stones or earth. Sometimes wood too. These places marked key moments. Like when Abraham offered sacrifices. Altars help folks connect with the divine. Prophet Makandiwa explains this clear. He shows why they matter in faith life. Next, he talks about how altars actually speak. They do not use words. But they hold stories. They carry echoes of prayers and events. Over time, these spots build influence. They shape lives around them. He breaks it down simple. You see, an altar remembers. It holds power from past actions. This part grabs your attention. Then he covers where altars get their power from. It comes from God first. But human choices add to it. Right acts build good strength. Wrong ones twist it bad. He points to real Bible examples. Like the altar at Bethel in Genesis. Jacob set it up after a dream. Or Elijah's stand on Mount Carmel. Fire fell from heaven there. These stories back his points. They prove altars link heaven and earth. To grasp it all, we urge you to watch until the end. Skip nothing. Each part builds on the last. You might wonder why altars still matter now. They remind us of spiritual roots. In tough times, they offer guidance. Prophet Makandiwa ties it to daily walks with God. Now, let's watch as he teaches. Sit back. Let the word sink in.
The reason why it was easy for Abraham to believe that this request would come from a God, it is because of where he was coming from. The way Abraham was raised is coming from the air of the Chaldeans, and his father Terah was so much vested in sowing very strange seeds to his strange gods. Even the gods of the Canaanites, even the Morek, he's a god who would want people to sacrifice even their own children. You know what these people used to do then was the image was so huge. The god called Molech was so big, and he had his hands stretched out, and they would set fire under the hands until they turned red. And then they would remove the fire, and quickly women would have to rush and throw their babies into the hands of that image. So Abraham, coming from such a background, he had an understanding that gods have that tendency of asking for human blood. But still, God did not allow Abraham to then sacrifice his son. So what is happening here was that God was trying to introduce himself to Abraham as God. I'm God, and I have a right also to ask for that kind of a sacrifice. But before you offer, I'm going to stop you so that I can show myself to be different from the rest of the gods that you have known before. You have migrated from a God that takes away from you. Now, I would want to welcome you into this new kingdom where we don't just ask for children, for humans, we offer. So, you see, the reason why God said, now I know that you love me, or you fear me. He wanted to understand that, can you go that far? Giving to a true God. And before you do so, I will also show you that I'm different. So please understand, this is what God is trying to prove. Abraham had an understanding that if God is God, he should be asking for sacrifices. And in the process, God said, I would want to show you that I'm different from the gods of the Chaldeans. Here is not you necessarily giving. Here it is me giving my only son. So Abraham ended up receiving from God what to sacrifice, what to give to God. So it's not about God getting from you, it's about God getting it to you, bringing it to you. The seed that finally Abraham sacrificed, he had to pick it up from God's hands. He was given a direction by order as to where to find it. Look behind you. So unless God gives it to you, you can't give it back to him. We are talking of a kingdom that it cannot rob its own people, because they have to get it from the kingdom in order for them to give it to the kingdom. There is no way that we can steal money from the citizens of the kingdom. The kingdom cannot do that. The kingdom cannot achieve that. So, altars speak. But not many people have this kind of understanding. Because this understanding takes a lot of, if not all of your brains. You need to have all of your senses in place and activated in order for you to understand the language of the altar. Altars do speak. Altars do speak. Child of God, altars do speak. I'm saying this because I've seen many people play with this kind of a program. And I've seen this kind of a program play with people. This is a program that you must watch with so much trembling and fear, because it defines an individual. It describes who you are. It's a prophetic session into your future that looks into your tomorrow. It's decided by a session like this one. Altars do speak. But how does an altar speak? Some of you think when we talk about altars speaking, it means the altar itself has power to speak. When an altar speaks, what goes into the altar? Maybe before we start getting into some scriptures here, what I want you to understand is that I also remember at some point I gave you a story concerning Jacob when he now decided to leave his father-in-law's village, going back to his land. and God had blessed him so much. And he had worked for 14 years. First of all, for Rachel, and he got Leah, and then he had to work again for 7 years. First 7 years was for, both 7 years were for Rachel, but he got Leah in the first place, and he had to work again for Rachel. And finally, he got what he really wanted, and after that he had to work again for the livestock, for the furniture, for the money, for the properties. But then it got to a time when he wanted to go back, and he looked for an opportunity. He sneaked out. He ran from Laban, because Laban was not ready to let Jacob go. He said, because I have learned through divination, I have learned through sorcery, I've learned through charms, through witchcraft, that God Jehovah has blessed me since your coming. He was taught that by a charm. He didn't go to church. He wasn't taught this by a prophet. A charm told Laban the reason why he had multiplied so much in a short space of time. So wherever Laban went, Jacob appeared. He was told that you have had a visitor some years back. This is why your cattle are producing so fast. All that was traced to an individual who had come. Yet this individual, he came with no money. When he escaped, he was running from his brother who almost killed him. He had a bottle of oil, and he had spent all of it. He anointed the pillar, the rock, the stone at Bethel. And he had a staff, a stick. Such a man got into Laban's house, and the entire economy of Laban changed, simply because Laban accommodated. So I'll give you scriptures concerning that, so that you understand who to accommodate, and strangers that you should never leave wandering outside of your habitations. I'll actually give you scriptures so that you understand. There are people that when you see them wandering, the wandering is deceptive. They are stranded, but they are not yet that stranded. He's poor, but he's not poor. I told you I'll be borrowing from what you guys say. So then, yes, I understand this was in the Old Testament, but in the Old Testament, Laban had to be told by a spiritual source that it is by Jacob that he is blessed. He has increased. There was no change in the weather pattern. This was a visitor. He looks so poor. He's asking for alms. He's asking for a salary. He's working to get from you. Yet, he's causing things to multiply. So Laban didn't realize that by supporting an individual, he was a representation of a higher kingdom, superior to his kingdom, more powerful than his kingdom. And all that his kingdom could do was to confirm that we are not involved in this surplus, in this multiplication that we are seeing now. It's coming from a different source. You have a stranger in your house. And this is the reason why you have multiplied. We'll get to that. But he said, what is important is that I've learned, he said, I've learned through divination that you are the reason behind my multiplication. I've increased because of you. But not many people really have an understanding, because our Bible didn't do justice to that story. I had to take some of you people that were present to the book of Joshua, I'm sure chapter number 31, from verse 40 going down. Yes, I know that most scholars believe that that book is a forgery. We have no actual book of Joshua ever since. That's fine. But we have had so many books apart from the Bible that people read, and they don't have a problem. People are writing books every single day, you see. So, but that book has a record that when they left, then Rachel took the idol of his father, of her father, and hid it under the camel, the seat. Already you can see the idol was not that big, very small. Yeah. She hid it under the seat of the camel, to a point that Laban himself could not find it, meaning it was so small yet so potent, so small. You can go to your village and not even see it. You can stay in your enemy's house and not even see it. It's not a massive shrine. It was a very small item, yet so powerful. Powerful enough that Rachel knew that if we sneak, if we run away and we don't carry this thing, we will still be found. So the reason why Rachel had to carry this idol, this god, away, it is because she knew that it is by this God that my father would know where we have gone. And the book describes how these people would conduct the ritual. I'm just trying to touch on that so that you understand the power of altars and how they speak. They speak, they do speak. So it says that what they would do, people would kill their firstborn. Shave off the head. You cut off the head of your firstborn. You shave off the hair. And then you take the hair, you mix it with oil and with salt. And you take some of it, you put it under the tongue of the head. And then they would have a copper plate, and then you would write the name of an individual. And you put it under. So they would put it in a room and then put some lights. And it's recorded in that book that by the power of the name written on the plate, it would speak and give you any information that you would want concerning that individual. So after, it means then that Laban did something to his firstborn. So, and after doing so, what you need to understand is that they would then go on. You don't keep on killing your firstborn. You only have one. But then you were supposed to create an image that represents that ritual that you would have done many, many years ago. An idol must then be created, formulated, that represents what transpired, what happened. That's what you carry around. So that thing would then communicate with you when you need any information of any sort concerning anybody. I don't know, next time. So Rachel knew that if we are to run away and I don't carry this idol, definitely my father is going to conduct a session. And he's going to be told by this idol our whereabouts. We will still be found. So this is a God capable of leading its own people. So that sacrifice would speak and give Laban directions. So no matter where you run to, even as a child of God, Jacob, you would still be located. Somebody would still have your name written on a copper plate and put it under a tongue, and he would hear information concerning things that you have never said, but the plan that you have, the direction that you have in your head will still be communicated to your enemy. So you go to Britain, you go to America, you go to whatever country of your choice. You can't hide from the altar. It has power to speak. I'm saying it's so powerful that a daughter knew that you can't run away from my father. We can't run away from my father. He will be told his source of information is this item. And she took it. But the problem is, in that book, then it says that then he consulted other gods. So she took the most powerful one. She took the most powerful one. So he consulted the other inferior gods that were in that room. He got a bit of information. He really struggled to get to Jacob. But what I want you to understand, okay, let's forget about that. Let's stick to the Bible. Your Bible says in the book of Hebrews, Abel offered a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. And by it, though he was dead, yet he speaks. That's your Bible. We are back to your Bible now. By it is by that sacrifice that the man that was dead could still speak. So when we talk about altars speaking, it's not necessarily the voice that comes from the altar. No, the altar empowers certain individuals to speak. Individuals that are behind those altars, because behind an altar there must be a power, there must be a force, there must be a spirit, there must be a demon, there must be a god, there must be an individual behind every altar. So it is who the altar empowers. It is who the altar gives information. When the altar speaks, it's not just the voice that you hear coming from the altar. No, it is the owner of the altar that has the capacity to hear the language of the altar. The altar speaks to its owner. It gives instructions to its owner to either fight you or to bless you.